Hi, all. Today, I'm Ivan Tana. I will be going over the revenues and expenditures ratio. Now, what is it? The revenues over expenditure ratio measures how efficiently an organization uses its resources. It consists of the revenues, expenditures, minus the capital projects and principal payments. Now, the revenues are monies that the government collects, such as taxes, licenses, and permits, charges for services, fines and forfeits, interest and investment earnings to fund public service and programs. Now, the expenditures are monies that the government spends to provide the services and programs, and that does not include capital projects and principal payments. Capital projects is a fund account for the financial resources obtained from bond issues for the acquisition or construction of capital assets and facilities. Now, the acquisition or construction of capital assets are things such as infrastructure, building roads, or obtaining new buildings to use as assets. And lastly, principal payments are funds gathered to pay for the principal amounts of bond obligations. It's simply principal payments are simply just the amount that a government is paying for the bond or the loan that they obtained. Now, moving on to the benchmark and the warning trend. Now, the benchmark is 100% and at most at 105%. And then the warning trend consists of anything below 100%, it would be unfavorable. Now, the bar graph shown indicates the total revenues and total expenditures within each year, from 2018 to 2022, with each number being represented in the millions. Now, the blue line represents the benchmark, and while the red line represents a ratio. The graph shows that the government of Guam has been above the benchmark since 2018. This means that GovGuam has been using its resources efficiently. Moving on to our significant changes. Now, in 2019, the ratio increased due to revenues drastically increasing more than expenditures. The revenues that increased the most are the operating grants and contributions, gross receipt taxes, and other taxes. And in 2020, the revenues and capital projects that increase. The revenues that increase are the operating grants and contributions, income taxes, and Section 30 federal tax collections. Now, the capital projects had increased with key projects such as the land acquisition to widen Route 14B, various FHA road infrastructure improvements across the island, and building acquisitions for GDOE. Now, from 2019 to 2021, the ratio declined due to uh, due to the government of Guam expenditures outpacing its revenues. Now, the disproportionate growth in expenditures compared to revenues led to the drop in the ratio. The ratio increases in 2022 uh, is attributed to a reduction in expenditures and a decrease in capital projects and principal amounts. Moving on to the recommendations, there are three recommendations provided in this portion. Now, the first recommendation is to increase revenue by offering new services and opportunities for Guam's investments. So, a new type of revenue is the additive manufacturing, also known as 3D printing. Now, the Guam Additive Materials and Manufacturing Accelerator, also known as GAMMA, is based on three pillars. These pillars are the workforce development and education, component testing and evaluation, and the manufacturing business incubation slash support on island. Now, Gamma has the possibility to develop technological capabilities, grow workforce skills to support local fabrication, and relieve the island of reliance on already strained foreign and offshore supply chains. It has the potential to build entrepreneurship opportunities for the population of Guam. Now, the Applied Science and Technology Research Organization of America, also known as ASTRO, has a implementation plan to build Gamma. The U.S. Navy will be the primary customer and funding source for Gamma. New infrastructure will provide high caliber training and cutting edge production capabilities on island that over the long term will also be applied to a broader range of commercial or non-naval industries across the Indo-Pacific. Now, the next steps for the implementation plan include enrollment of 5 GOM students to the U.S. Navy's Accelerated Training in Defense Manufacturing in Danville, Virginia, education workshop at the Colorado School of Mines with participants from EOG, GCC, GEDA, and Mines Administration, as well as Astro and Navy personnel. And then the technical workshop in Washington, D.C., with key U.S. Navy and shipbuilder decision makers, and lastly, with a Guam workshop in fall 2024. Now, the next two recommendations are to increase revenues such as income and payroll taxes by providing new job opportunities, and investments in capital projects to manage resources effectively and efficiently. Now, reducing or eliminating existing tax breaks can also help raise revenue, as tax breaks reduce overall tax liability. Furthermore, boosting economic activity by expanding the labor force and improving workforce skills can increase disposable income, leading to greater spending in the economy, and increasing the immigration can also enhance workforce quality and quantity. Now, while it may seem counterintuitive, increasing capital projects can ultimately benefit the government. By enhancing infrastructure and assets, the government can boost the island's appeal to tourists, which in turn can increase business revenues. As businesses prosper, the government stands to gain more revenue through taxation, further supporting its financial stability. By focusing on these strategies, the GovGuam can work toward improving its financial ratio and ensuring a more sustainable economic future. Thank you for watching, and that concludes my presentation.